Call the Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I want to, in making a contribution on this bill, make 3 points. The first of those is I am quite uncomfortable with bills in the area of resource management that specifically focus on a single resource issue. I have heard the Green Party and others in this Parliament over the years say that we should be very cautious of passing a bill to simply ride roughshod over process and approve a particular development. And equally so, the Parliament should be cautious of passing a law that is specifically designed to just do a particular job on a particular river. We have an Environment Court and very robust processes for that. If we look over the history of resource management in this Parliament, what we've found is that piecemeal legislation that makes a bit for this beach or a bit for that river or a bit for that mountain or a bit for that lake is actually not where Parliament should be focused. It should be focused on providing really good law so that we can then consistently deal with good resource-making, decision-making, and I think that is a deficiency in this bill and in the contribution by the member that introduced in gunning in on just the issue of the Taurua River. The second is that the bill does not achieve what the member says it shall. The bill says that it is going to put a termination on the exceptional circumstance provision in respect of the specific application of the pulp mill and the Taurua River. The problem is that the Environment Court has granted a 25-year consent. So even if this bill is passed, it's a bit of a nonsense to say that it's going to limit it to 5 years when it's only targeted to have a go at this one river, and that consent's got 25 years to go. And there are no provisions in the bill to override that particular consent. And so I think that's a little bit of misrepresentation to say that this puts a 5-year window on it when it only affects one and it's got 25 years to run. The third issue that I believe the member needs to satisfy the Parliament is she says that there is strong local support for the bill. Well, it's my information that the local Kawerau Council, which is the locally elected community representative voice, does not support it. And my understanding is nor does the Bay of Plenty Regional Council support it. So the Parliament has to ask the question, and of course it could have been introduced as a local bill. The Select Committee does consider those where they come through, for the bill to be supported and to claim to have local support. We really would want to know that the Kawerau Council and the Bay of Plenty Regional Council, which is elected with the specific role of representing these community issues, has a same view as what the member presents, and our information is that that is not correct. You see, there is no disagreement in this Parliament that we need to raise the bar around cleaner rivers throughout New Zealand. But equally so, Mr Speaker, we need to be asking the question in a very detailed way about how that impacts on employment and cost. That is, we need to have a very transparent discussion around if you're going to set the bar at a particular line in a particular time frame, what is the impact on employment, what is the impact on cost? Because the other part that worries me is it's very easy to stand up in this Parliament, whether it comes to issues of climate change, where the Greens have a party of 40% reduction emissions by 2020 without any admission of what that cost might impose, or that we want to have a clean air or clean water everywhere at a particular time without being open and upfront with our fellow New Zealanders about what the cost and job implications are of those. And in my view, if we're to really have an honest discussion, all those things need to be on the table. My view is that we should be looking at improving the overall framework of the RMA and not looking at legislation that picks off a single issue in a single area.
With all that
Members, the time has come for me to leave the chair for the dinner break. I know the member was keen to make a call. This debate's interrupted. I shall resume the chair at 7:30.